Hi everybody and welcome to this fourth part of this floor plan elevation of a care home. If you just arrived here accidentally, you can watch the first and second parts by clicking on the card above. Let's start. Okay, we have all the windows and now it's the doors time. They are just two in the elevation and they are the same, so it's easy. But it's important that when you draw an elevation on your project, that the distances match with the floor plan. For example, I can measure the length of this door with the command distance. And this is the final drawing, don't forget it. You see, it's 1.5. Then you go to the floor plan to check if the value matches. Use the command again, then click on both sides and you see it's 1.5, so it's correct and I can proceed. Now at the left we have the elevation of the door, which is the same for both doors in the drawing. Let's make this with very little steps. You can pause the video if you want. Try to think in a way with the less steps possible and try it on your computer. There are loads of ways if you imagine, so let's do it just one. I'm going to draw a rectangle and the dimensions will be 1.5 and 2.27. So the first is the x-axis, 1.5, press tab, and then 2.27. It's very simple. Then I'm going to use the command offset to put the two rectangles inside. Click in the command, and then for the offset distance, I use 0.05 meters. Then just select the first rectangle, click inside, and do the same. Repeat the process, and now I had two. But of course, it's not exactly what I want because I have this part in the middle. I can draw a line from the midpoints of the second rectangle. I click in this one and then drag to the other side. After this, I use offset again, specify the same distance as before, the 0.05, and then put a parallel line in each side. Finally, with the command trim, erase the lines that I don't need. Select all the objects, press enter, then I go to this side and delete all those ones to reach the final drawing that I want. Now the door is completed. No, it isn't. I forgot this little line here. I double click on it and I can see on the properties that it measures 0.03. So let's draw it with the command line. Move this endpoint, drag down, type 0.03, and then draw another horizontal line until this intersection, then connect to the endpoint. This time, yes, it's done. Then, to convert this to a block, one different way is selecting the objects and type B and press enter. As you see, the blocks are already selected in the block definition window. So first, like always, I type a name for the block. Then, as the objects are selected, I don't need to select now. I click OK to pick the point, the base point. So the block is done. And then I need to place two doors in my elevation plan. I activate again the command copy. I select the door, pick the base point, choose this base point, then find this guideline and drag it up to find this intersection point. For the main door, if I zoom, I can see that there is no guideline here. I forgot to add one before, but no problem. I first need to unlock the guideline layer, and then I move one of the lines, this one, to the intersection there. It's where I will insert the door on the elevation. So finally, I just need to repeat the process as I did for the first window. Follow again the guideline and click on the intersection. In the next minutes, we will be using a bit more detailed drawing for making the bricks. These are just decoration elements, and the precision here is not very important. However, I will explain different functions of the commands that you already know. Let's zoom a bit here to the tiles at this side. Now I'm going to show to you how I can make them up to the roof quickly. We will use the command line, but just for this section. I click for the first point and type the distance of 0.4. Then vertically, it's 0.2 meters. Then to the right, it's the same distance. Then I'm going to use the command again and draw a line at 0.1 from the left corner. Let's do it again. I drag it, now turn to the right and type 0.1, and yes, now it works. Finally, just connect to this point. Let's see in detail what happened. As I hove this right point accidentally, I moved to the opposite one, and when dragging the cursor, the extension still counts from the right. That was the reason. Okay, then I'm going to copy these objects, but using the option Array at the command bar. We need to count the number of items, including the original, which is 7, and specify this corner as the second point. Okay, now it's done. Then, using the command copy again, place the objects where they belong. Go to my elevation plan and click in this point. Then the same group of objects, click there, and another one at the second floor, here. Okay, so now I just need to use the command trim to erase the parts that are not necessary here. Select everything, and now I click in the objects to delete. When I finish, I press Escape and delete the objects that remain. Okay, after this part, I'm going to use a tool called Layer Walk. The name of the command is Lay Walk. Here, I have to select the layers that I want to show on the workspace. Choose only the layer tilts and click on Close. And now, I want to select all the tiles. It's easier now. To then use the command Group. I click with the right button, go to Group and choose Group. Now all the objects are grouped, as you can see. Then I click on this icon to turn all the layers on. To put all the tiles in the remaining areas, I can use the command mirror, select the group, press enter, then choose this point as a mirror line, and then the tiles are at this side. Use the command copy to put this group at the left corner. Then there is one remaining at this side. It's better if I draw a line here to then use the mirror line. Select the group that I just put on the drawing and then put it at this side. Finally, as I have to adjust some tilts, I need first to ungroup, and then these ones, as they are separate objects, I can delete them, and then I do the same for the small ones at this side. I can also remove the overlapped objects like this line. Next thing, there is a brick pattern that I created in this drawing. This one. Let's make it. These are the dimensions. However, they are not that important, as these bricks here are actually just for decoration. So let's draw a rectangle using the 0.2 and 0.1 for the lengths. Then I copy it, use the endpoint, and put it on the endpoint at the other side. Then for the third brick, I'm going to use the mode nearest. It will connect to the object that I am snapping. Now, these small lines I used here, I draw them with the command spline, for example. That basically makes lines with curves. I click in the points where I want a curve to pass, and to confirm the spline, press enter. If you press escape, that cancels the command and you have to draw it again. You can keep drawing lines as you like, and in this part of the exercise, you don't have to follow what I'm doing. Just do whatever you want. You can use splines, lines, whatever. Then, after creating this pattern, you can copy it to the remaining bricks. I select all these objects and then choose this base point and copy it to the same corner of the other bricks. Then I want to change this to the layer 0 for then creating a block. I click on create a block, I choose a name of, for example, bricks. Then, as the objects are selected, I just need to click for the base point. Then I finished. I can deactivate the mode nearest as I don't need it anymore. And finally, I can place these bricks in the elevation plan. For example, I can place one more or less here. And then I'm going to copy it, and with the polar mode turned on, I place it in the same horizontal line, like this. Then I can copy all of them to the first floor. Okay, back to the entrance door. there were still these lines to draw. First, I go to the floor plan. First, I unlock the guidelines, and then with the command move, I move this grid line to this position, where dot frame will be drawn. Then I copy this object to the opposite side. After this, I can easily start drawing. I'm going to draw a line in this point with a length of 2.3 meters. Then I press Escape, and I'm going to copy it with the command mirror. I select it, and then the reflection line, I put it in the middle of the door width. Then let's unlock the guidelines again. And for the arc, I know that this part is located at 0.15 meters from the top of the door. So for that, I will draw first a line with that distance. Press Escape, and then I can draw an arc with 3 points. I just need to connect the 3 of them. It's very simple. Okay, then for the other border of the frame, I can use the command offset, but first I join the lines with the command join. Press Enter. As this is a polyline, I can now use the command offset, and it draws a parallel object separated in 15 centimeters from the original one. Oh, it looks like this elevation is never finished, but we are almost, don't worry. These windows, let's look where they are located. Actually, they are reflected with an imaginary vertical line from the midpoint of the door, and they are located at this distance from there. To put the windows there quickly, I'm going to draw that support vertical line. Then with the command copy, I copy this window, I select the base point on this corner, and then I start with the second floor, I hover this point, drag to the right and type the distance of 0.35. However, look what happens if I try to copy the window below. As this intersection is in line with my base point, when I insert a value, it actually counts from the beginning, and the window is not placed as expected. So the best is to copy the window from above and then use now the intersection, and that will work fine. Now, I think you can guess the command mirror will copy this in one step. So I can erase the line. Finally, the only thing remaining in this elevation are the chimneys. First, have a look to the dimensions and the upper part in detail. Start measuring the distances from this corner. This is where I need to place the start point of the chimney. I draw a horizontal line at 1.9 meters from the top of the walls, and its length is 0.27. Then I'm going to draw the rectangle, and its dimensions are going to be minus 0.6 in the negative direction of the x-axis, the y-axis 1.6. For the detail, I'm going to draw lines here following the dimensions that I can see on the PDF file. This one is 0.03, then 0.02, 0.03, then again 0.03. So basically I draw in one side. For them, use the command mirror. I select all these objects, press enter, and put it on the other side in this way. Then I just connect with the command line those intersections. For the top of the chimney, I can make a rectangle here with the distance of 0.13 from the right end. Then the length and the width will be minus 0.15, press tab, and then 0.3. Right after, with the command line, I draw the remaining objects. Now, instead of drawing them on the other side, I use the command mirror. Select the middle of the chimney. And then I just need another line to connect those points. There is another of this part at the other side, so I use the command mirror again. And this line that I don't need anymore, I can delete. Here you have a chimney on this elevation. And to finish, use the command trim to erase that segment of line. Finally, I need to copy the chimney to this roof at the right side, and it's located at 0.1 meters from the top. So with the command copy, I'm going to select all the objects, press enter, I choose this base point, then I move to the other side, and I can click first in the intersection, and then with move I put it at a distance of 0.1, and then just trim the lines that are hidden. These ones, and also those two segments inside. Okay, as you can see, the elevation of this care home is finally completed. So, thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope that this was useful for you and that you have motivation to keep practicing AutoCAD exercises. They are very important. Subscribe to CAD in Black to check my playlists with full tutorials and exercises for beginners. It's all for now. I hope to see you again next time.